about just what they just told Miss Frisby? Yeah.
I think Miss Frisby was telling the crow, I think, that what the owl said to do.
Yep.
Oh, like moving house? What?
Yep.
I don't think the rat moved.
I guess something pretty bad. The owl said she wants to go to the rats if she wants to say something.
What do you guys think about? She said the rats can do things. What do you think that means?
That they have like may have like an underground system that they use to get stuff to from one place to another quicker.
Interesting. Alright, guess what? Should I keep going? Okay. The next chapter is called In the Rose Bush. When Mrs. Frisby got home, Teresa, Martin, and Cynthia were eating supper, as she had told them to do if it got dark before she returned. Coming silently down the tunnel, she could hear them talking in the room below, and she paused a moment to eavesdrop on their conversation. Obviously, Cynthia had been worrying, and Teresa was reassuring her. But what about the owl? You know how owls are. It was still light when they got there. He couldn't see, but it's dark now, said Cynthia. Oh, I wish she'd come back. I'm scared. Not so loud, Teresa said. Timothy will hear. I'm home, called Mrs. Frisby, hurrying the rest of the way down. And now it appeared that they had all been worried, for they ran to her, and even Martin, who ordinarily avoided such displays, threw his arms around her. Oh, Mother, cried Cynthia, near tears. I was so worried. Poor Cynthia, it's all right. How high did he fly? Asked Martin, recovering quickly. High enough so the trees looked like bushes, the garden like a postcard, and the river like a snake. Did you see the owl? What did he say? I saw him. Later I'll tell you about it. But first I want to see Timothy. How is he? Why didn't you move his bed out here? Teresa said, I wanted to, but he said he'd rather stay in the bedroom. I think he's feeling worse again. When Mrs. Frisby went to see him, she found him sitting up, and his forehead felt not at all feverish. I'm all right, he said. I stayed in here because I wanted to think about something. Think about what? About moving day. Moving day? But why? What about it? Had he, after all, overheard her talking to the others? Heard about her flight to the owl? But no, he was explaining. I haven't been outdoors since I got sick, so I don't know what it's like. I mean the weather. But today, this afternoon, I noticed something. What was that? A smell in the air, a warm, wet smell. If you sniff, you can still smell it, though it's not so strong now. Mrs. Frisby had noticed this, of course, both indoors and out. It's the smell of the frost melting, Timothy went on. I remember it from last year. And after that, it wasn't long until we moved. Mother, when are we going to move this year? Oh, not for a long time yet. Mrs. Frisby tried to sound as casual as she could. It's still much too cold, too early to think about it. I have to think about it, said Timothy. He sounded serious, but calm and unworried. Because if it comes too soon, I don't know if I can go. I tried walking a little bit today, in here, when the others were outside. Timothy, you were supposed to stay in bed. You'll make yourself sick again. I know, but I had to find out. And I didn't walk much. I couldn't. I only went a few steps and got so dizzy I had to lie down again. Of course you did. You haven't really recovered yet. I guess I haven't. That's why I wanted to think. Timothy, you must not worry about it. That will only make you worse. I'm not worried at all. I thought I would be, but I'm not. Or maybe I think I should be, but I can't. What I really think about is how nice it is there in the summer beside the brook, and it's true, I want to go. But I'm not scared. I was afraid you might be, or that you might think I was. That's really what I wanted to tell you. I'm just going to wait and see what happens, so you shouldn't worry about it either. Mrs. Frisby realized that he had somehow switched their positions. He had seen the danger he was in, guessed somehow that moving day was near, and that he was very likely to die. And yet here he was, reassuring her. She wanted to tell him about the owl and the rats, tell him that something still might be done, but she decided she had better not. She did not really know if they would help. It would be better to wait until she had seen them. So instead she said, rather lamely, Timothy, don't think about it anymore. When the time comes, we'll see how you are and then decide what to do.